panel, which I probably should have gone under Luna Pearl um, Media. I was under LP Spiritual J. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but we don't.
Mm. Where you at now?
I'm under Luna Pearl Media.
Oh, okay.
It's like I had to go like there's an arrow for me to choose which account to go live under.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
I was like, all right, hopefully this is it. But yo, you have a whole hour and change. Go
A whole
ahead.
hour by myself. I just looked back at it too, and I was like, it.
YouTube fails. Yo, but this is it's good to learn to like know what we're doing. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see.
Yeah, I had put YouTube wildin because YouTube is wildin. I don't know what the hell that's about.
Okay, so
Weird energy.
we in it. We in it this time. Like
Okay, now I see you. So maybe you couldn't go live on the last one on the other
maybe,
page.
maybe. But you know what? It's weird because when I looked at like what my allowances are on that account, it said I could do lives, but maybe just like go live by myself. I don't know. I really
Yeah,
don't know, bro.
that's real weird. That's strange.
I have to play around with it. But like I'm still getting acclimated to YouTube
Oh
like
my.
platform. Like this is only my second live on here. Like I'm gonna start going on and doing readings like when I can for that account. But
Shanti said, "There she is." Look at me, I'm Sandra D. Yes. Okay, well, Shanti, this is Luna. Luna, that's Shanti.
hi Shanti, what's up, what's up, what's up?
Oh my God, people gonna be like, she was talking to herself the whole time for a whole hour.
Listen, I can testify, okay? I was on that whole ass time. We were having a conversation. Just nobody could see or hear me. I was a ghost in that
Yeah, that's
combo.
wow, so weird. Oh my God, they believe
No,
they
but
they better believe me now, right, Shanti?
yo, bro.
I had the right part too, because I was like, something wrong here. Like what? That's a
Listen,
crack.
we are vindicating your name right now, okay? You are not, going crazy. You
This face
had
didn't get
some.
me. I'm here. She's real.
I'm real. I'm real.
Hello, Mayo. How you doing, Mayo? Thank you for
What's
joining the
up? What's
chat. This is
up?
girl.
Thanks for joining. Matter of fact, send me the link because there's a couple of people I want to send it back out to, and
Okay,
see
hold
if we
on.
can
I'm about to send it to you right now.
get
Shanti, you keep her company.
some company. What's up? What's up? Yeah. In the bottle.
You thought I was hitting the bottle, Shanti? Sure. Listen, I've been sitting
Listen,
here with my blunt because I was going to hit my blunt, but when I saw myself, I was like, like, wait a minute. Why I don't see Luna? Like, what the hell? Now Luna frozen. So Luna must be sending the link out because she frozen now. But yeah, Shanti, you just up here, talking about what's upcoming with Girl Podcast and what we up to and what we doing. We got a bonus episode that we're going to be dropping this Friday. Just a little like behind the scenes stuff of um Mayo. Give me 1 second, Mayo. I'm sorry. Just a little behind the scenes stuff of, when we went to the breast cancer walk. And, since we're still talking about breast cancer, you said
okay.
she liked to smile long. She was frozen because she was sharing the link. He said she liked to smile long. That is hilarious.
I mean, I do smile a lot. I'm a happy person, but I'm not gonna be like.
Just smiling, right? Just hey.
It's creepy. That is
Um,
creepy. But yeah, I
Mayo
was
said he's at 10 subs. Do we have any tips? Just
what
keep
is
keep putting content, just keep putting content and going live on your YouTube page. That usually helps. Once people start seeing you populating on YouTube and they like the content that you are producing, then they will subscribe. So,
Yeah.
just make sure you're putting out the content that you love and you want other people to enjoy with you, and go live as much as you can. We're really starting on a live thing. I haven't really used YouTube to the to my potential. We're just really starting out, doing the lives and things. I put up a lot of shorts and stuff, but I don't put too many videos and stuff on my YouTube. But I'm starting to, get back acclimated with YouTube and just getting back in, getting back on a roll of things, and just getting active on YouTube again. So you guys will be seeing a lot more, from us on YouTube. I have, of course, you guys are on my Tony Stills YouTube right now. We have Girl Podcast with myself and Luna as well that you guys can check out, which is Girl Podcast Official. I also have my production company YouTube channel, Forever Infinite Productions at G Martinez Media 718. You guys can subscribe there as well. You'll probably see a lot more of Tony Still's, produced work over there. And of course, Luna has her YouTube pages that you guys can subscribe to as well, which is Luna Pro Media and Luna the Spiritual G. So if you
LP the
go
spiritual G.
LP,
No.
the spiritual G. So if you guys go on my profile, you'll be able to go to Girl Podcast Official. And on Girl Podcast Official, you subscribe there, then you'll be able to see Luna Pearl media on that profile. So you guys go subscribe to Luna Pearl as well. So, we're just building our platforms and doing our best to bring you guys some really great content and conversations. Yes.
Yeah, we had a whole like hour of conversation that you're only going to be able to see Tony's input on, but
Bug
there's
me
some
out. Like,
gems.
I'm looking like, wait a minute, why I just see myself?
Oh, thank you, thank you,
Oh, I
Shanti.
think Shanti trying to holler Luna.
Oh, sorry right
It's a
now.
love connection.
Shanti,
I'm messing with y'all. I'm messing with y'all. Shanti, I told you Luna, she fly drones and she teach how to fly drones, Shanti. I was telling Shanti, we gotta all get together. You know what I'm saying? We building our team, Shanti. So we about to be strong out here in these streets. You feel me? Because we about to be bringing some
absolutely.
fly ass content. Shanti already doing his thing. He remember the game show that I was inviting you to. He's a videographer and photographer for that. So they
Oh,
just
nice.
put up, yeah, they just put up a lot of footage from that night. There's a lot of stuff came out really dope too.
I gotta see that.
Yeah, it came out really dope. I'll share his IG with you on Instagram
Cool,
so you
cool,
can check
cool.
them out.
Definitely got a
That's
link.
that's that's my live buddy on TikTok. Sean
Okay.
always bring him in on live. So we gotta do some lives on TikTok too. Because TikTok be popping.
Listen, I have yet to try the TikTok live, but I'm gonna start going on there. Like I'm creating like we created our schedule for this, and I have a schedule that I'm doing for like lives for readings and stuff like that. Cause I'm like, yeah, I
So
need to get on
you going
it.
you gonna get them on, yeah, you gonna get them on TikTok. They love that on TikTok.
TikTok is like one of those like, there's so much love on TikTok that you don't get on other platforms
Yeah,
and like complete strangers. Like they
yeah,
don't know from nothing. Like, oh, I love you.
yeah.
You so good. Like, oh,
Because TikTok, you get up there and you learn a lot on TikTok, and people love that. It's a lot of information on TikTok. It is very inclusive as well. You know what I'm saying? And people love that. That's what I love about TikTok. Yeah,
same. Cause like, between that, like I always say YouTube University, like I've learned so much from YouTube and TikTok is kind of like a university itself because you can go down the rabbit hole of like looking at informative videos on
yeah.
TikTok. Yeah, yeah. Oh
Shanti
yes,
is asking. Yeah.
yes, readings. I do tarot readings on the side. So yeah, I just re-upped my channel and starting to put um card readings and messages back out there. We started our YouTube live tonight, kind of talking about that before we actually went live. and we were just talking about like different, spiritual avenues and divination that, people like it's evil. But like,
Yeah.
listen, I didn't choose the life chose me. And no, Miss Cleo is fake. Don't even bring that up.
Call me now.
Yo, I remember those commercials too, and I'm like,
So do
wait,
I.
was
Call
it
me now. And I knew she was fake from then.
for real?
It was like, you know
Everybody
what?
knew he was fake, but you come with the accent, you come with the aesthetic, and it's like, oh, okay, maybe. But remember those like 900 numbers where you get charged like
Yeah.
$5 a minute for shit?
Yeah. Yeah, my older sister was really into that stuff, and I remember my mother getting a phone bill, and she, for the life, for the life of her, she couldn't figure out like who was making these phone calls. And come to find out, it was this one calling Miss Cleo, getting all this foolish information from Miss Cleo.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, no,
Mhm.
I'm no Miss Cleo. Like, I actually like get messages. It's weird, like how shit just be popping out, and people like, oh shit. That's why I continue to do what I do, because if it wasn't like hitting with nobody, it's like, what's the point? But
Yeah.
gotta gotta do my purpose.
Who was the famous Spanish one? Oh, Walter. Oh my God.
I
Wow,
don't
Shanti.
her. I do not remember.
That. Yeah, I remember. I remember him. I remember him. That's crazy.
I gotta look that
Mm-mm.
up. I don't remember a Spanish reader Walter. But yeah, it's a lot. Like Tony was telling me about like her sister having prophetic dreams, and like my own like experience with dreams. It's a lot of stuff out here that people don't necessarily believe, but it's real. Like,
Yeah,
it's Miss Cleo was not just like, yeah, she was fake in a sense, but it was
it was
based
coming
off
from
of,
somewhere. Yeah,
yeah, it came from somewhere. It came from
yeah,
something. Like, these things are actually real. And it's
yeah,
not to say that I think there are more, there are a lot more fakes out there than, I would like to like admit. But once you find those authentic readers, authentic people, it's like they will tell you some shit that will scare.
Walter Mercado. Yes, yes. You gotta look him up, Luna. Yes. Wow, Shanti, you so Spanish. I remember him. I remember him.
Yeah.
Absolutely remember him. Yeah, but spirituality runs really, 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 really deep. It runs really, really deep, and it can definitely scare people. You know what I'm saying? To know that there's something so much deeper than what we allow ourselves to see.
For real. Yo,
You
I
see
do.
him?
I just
You
brought this.
remember him?
I do remember, like, this
Yes.
cat was
Yes.
so like you could always tell the fakes are really like just like very loud with their appearance and loud with their presentation and just like obnoxious with it. It's like a
She found
trend,
him. Yeah.
and it's like I actually thought that was a chick. Like, I was
That's
like,
that's that's what that was. Absolutely. They found their way in early in the game. Hey, the whooping crane. How you doing? Welcome back.
hey, hey, what's up? What's up? Welcome,
How are you
welcome.
doing today? Thank you.
Yo, thanks for joining in with us again, y'all. Cause like we
Yeah.
having technical difficulties, and the conversation was really dope on the first go around, and we can't bring that back to you, but
Well, this
we
it's live now. It's live on YouTube. Unfortunately, you won't see Luna, so it's gonna look
yeah,
like I'm talking to myself. But we were there together.
yo,
We really were.
we were going in on some convo, but
Yeah.
it's good because there's a lot more conversations to come. Like,
So the
this is.
whooping crane was with us last week.
Oh, what's up? Welcome,
Yeah.
welcome.
Yeah. The whooping crane was here last week with us
You
for
thought
a
I was
little
here
bit. Yeah, I
first.
was here before. Yeah. Not tonight, but you was with us last week, and we're here every Wednesday. We'll be here every Wednesday at 8 p.m. 8
I very much.
p.m., 8:30 around that time. Just join us every Wednesday. And again, for those who are watching, who are not participating in the chat, you said great memory. I hope I didn't say anything crazy. You didn't. You didn't. But yeah, I do have a great memory. I do remember names, and I remember people who join and who interact. And just like you're interacting today, you was interacting with us last week as well. So thank you for coming back.
Yes, thank
Um,
you. And at
yeah,
least one of us needs to have a good memory because that ain't me. Sorry.
it's all good. It's all good.
No,
And again,
I'm
make sure
gonna get
y'all
it.
sub that girl podcast official page as well.
I'll put that in the
We trying to get up to our 50 likes now, 50 subscribers, so that we're able to go live over there. Because we're here initially to really talk about the podcast and just give you guys a heads up on what's going on with that. We do have a bonus episode that we'll be releasing this Friday. We're still on the topic of breast cancer awareness, and we're going to be giving you some behind the scenes footage and just some extras and stuff so that you guys can see the work that we're doing, the conversations that we're having, and just being active. Pretty much, we're both building our platforms at the same time. So yeah, I've been nervous to do that, a reading, as far as being read, Shanti, or actually doing readings. That's how horror movies that's how horror movies start. You know what?
Listen, don't believe the hype. It's really not that serious. Like the way that I go on and I see other readers and they're just like they're so dramatic. Like, oh, your baby daddy did this or he getting ready. Like, oh my god, stop it. It's just like there's such a huge network of people that it's like unless I'm doing a personal reading, it is impossible for me to get like not to say it has happened a couple of times, but it's very rare that like a like specific storyline comes up, and it's definitely not that dramatic.
Mhm.
Entertainment makes it seem much more dramatic than it actually is. It's just a
Yeah.
tool of guidance. It's really not that serious. It's nothing to be scared about.
Yeah,
Just
it's
like
it's 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 insightful. It's good information to guide you. A lot of it is not really as detailed as people may think. Like oh, you got a black toenail and your toe's gonna fall off. It ain't it ain't bad, but it's gonna give you some type. Don't
not the
ask me
black.
where that. Don't ask me where that came from. But it's gonna give you some type of guidance, some insight.
I definitely have had no black toenail.
Oh God, that was funny. I don't know where that came
Woo.
from, but I was just here.
No, just break,
Because
break
people
that
think
up.
it's something that's going to like be all in your business, all in your life. It ain't that. It's just something to give you some type of insight, into moving forward and being able to regulate or resolve whatever has happened in the past or things like that. But there are
That's
people
right.
who can tap into you talking to somebody who's passed away if that's what you want. There's different areas of that. So it's a matter of what you're looking for when you go, to be read.
It's very true. There's different levels of divination. Like I'm still not fully like tapped in. Like I do a lot of general work. I do a lot of like just guidance messages because again, like that sense that you want to be able to know where you should go next sometimes, and a lot of these messages just help, in
Yeah,
that guidance. So,
yeah,
yeah. So
yeah,
that's it. Nothing to be scared about. I don't like if a reader tells you, they'll predict, the exact day of your death, like don't buy into that. It's not that is not a responsible reader right there. Like, nobody has control over your destiny. Nobody has, control over anything that you do besides you. So
hmm
that's And that's why I put disclaimers on all my readings. Like, make good decisions. This is, just a guidance tool. This is not for, for you to take, so seriously that you're going to disrupt your life based off of, a word from a
Yeah,
stranger.
yeah. Because
You
I'm
know,
in
it's,
control. No, Bobby.
listen,
Always
we
busting
haven't
out
had
with a song.
enough of you breaking out into song
All the
this
time,
time
right?
around, girls. Okay, we need more spontaneous song combustions. Okay.
Yeah, some spontaneous combustion. I like that. So we was talking about earlier, Shanti. How did that conversation come up? We was talking about if you had 24 hours to live.
Oh, damn. I can't remember how it came. We were talking about hip hop. Like we were talking about, the passing of, oh yeah, we
Oh,
were talking about like Mr. C passing,
Fat Man Scoop,
people
DJ
Clark
Clark
Kent.
Kent, Quincy
Right,
Jones, yeah.
right.
And
So yeah,
and Luna, yeah, Luna had posed the question.
if you got 24 hours to live, just
Just
think,
think,
where would you
what would you
go? What would
do?
you
Where would you
do?
do? Who would
Who,
you screw?
who would you want to notify?
Notify.
Or let your ass to know that your ass is about to
You about to
die.
die if you had
Listen,
24 hours to live.
that is a hard question. And we were discussing, really like, yeah, those people that like they seem to have had an untimely death. We don't know if that was part of their destiny or, that's just it, before their time. But one thing I'm curious about is like I would want to ask them like, would you have wanted to go out like before, like would you have wanted to leave this world at that time? Do you feel like you fulfilled your purpose, or would you want more time?
Yeah.
you know because they live, like Tony has said that, and correctly so, they lived extraordinary lives. They impacted a lot of people. They left a legacy that cannot be touched. It's a matter of, if you spoke to that person directly, like, what would they tell you? Like, did they feel like they were finished, or that they still have more to do? So, yeah.
Shanti said, that's hard to decide. I haven't experienced a lot of things.
Well, yo, no time like the
Interesting.
present. No
No
time like
time
the
like the present, number one. And I mean, you've experienced life, Shanti. You've been married, you have kids, you have grandkids. That's experience in life. That's more than I don't know. I've never been married. I don't have kids or grandkids. So if you've experienced something I haven't, you know?
I've only done the married part, but no like kids to, like pass knowledge on to. So that's something that, to talk about. That's something of note,
I've
you
been
know.
proposed to, but I ain't experienced nothing else after that. It ain't materialized into nothing.
Wait, so okay, you did propose to. Why you say no? Or why like, yeah.
I said no because I know that I wasn't ready and that wasn't somebody that I wanted to marry.
You know what? That is brave, because that's in essence like a lot of a lot of relationships, a lot of marriages happen because they're not brave enough to do the same thing.
Mm,
And yeah, this marriage is one of those things, and you're exactly right for saying like recognizing that you're not ready for it, because had I been as brave, I would have said the same thing.
mm,
You know what? It's a life lesson that I don't know if I would be the person I am today if I didn't have it. So I no regrets
mm,
on that end.
mm.
But yeah,
Yeah, I was too focused on music too. Like, you know, I never, from young, it was never in my conversation like all my other friends to be married at a young age and have a family. I've always know I'm going to perform, entertain, own my own business. I'm gonna be in media. Like this has always been what I've wanted to do. Not until I've gotten older at this place in my life, to be completely transparent and honest, is when I'm thinking about a family. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? But that has never been like the main focus for me. It's just always been I need to fulfill what I'm looking to fulfill before I bring anybody into this life, because I know I wouldn't have been able to give my all to, you know, uh, a marriage, a relationship, or even kids. Like I wouldn't have been able to give my all to that at that time. So
Yeah, I feel you.
I wasn't ready for that, and I was I was coming into the game. It was not my prime, but I was coming into the game. It was still fun. It was exciting. It was new, and that was my focus. That's what I wanted to do. And it was like, oh no, I'm not necessarily ready for this. And I felt like when I said no and when I explained all of this, I really expected for my person to be like, all right, cool, we'll take it slow, we'll take our time, because we both was young, early 20s, just we both embarking into this, and it's fun. So it was like, I thought, this was my friend, this was my best friend, and we could actually, go on this journey together. And when that wasn't the case, that's when I knew, like, all right, then this is not my person. So
Mhm.
no.
That's yo. Whew. And Shanti said he got married young too. Yeah,
I
that's.
definitely went to a Diddy party, Shanti. Mind your business.
Oh, I didn't. Wait. Is it story time? I think
I
it's story
did.
time. Tony. Tony,
I
we've been holding
did.
up on story time. Come on now.
Very early in the game, when Bad Boy was, still in the beginning stages. Of
Okay.
course, he had Big and he had Total, and this is when Diddy was starting. I don't know if he was starting his parties. He probably was already having these parties, but at this particular party I went to was in a Bronx area, a really rich Bronx area. That's one of those areas. To this day, I still can't remember what it was, but it was like Castle, probably Castle Hill. It was like castle houses, mansions in this area, but it was in the Bronx.
Okay.
Um, but what happened was I went with a friend of mine. She was invited to the party and she invited me because she knew, you getting into the rap game, you should come, da da da, whatever. She was getting in as a PR. Um, so we went to the party. We had to drive up to a certain area in the Bronx, drop your car off in a certain area, and then you get into a van. It was a line of vans just waiting to take people, back and forth. So we go to the van because it's a certain van you have to go to. I guess everybody had a certain van. They knew what part of the party you're supposed to be at. So this is the one that you got to get into, and it's going to take you. Yeah, yeah. So you go to the van. You got to give them a certain code. Get in the van, fine. They hand you your mask. Yeah, they hand you your mask. Put on our mask or whatever. You get into the van. They take you to the place. You get to the place. You got to give them another code to get inside, because it's like different areas of you know the the mansion that I guess people were going to. This is what I'm assuming now. Back then, I didn't really understand, what was going on. I was just excited. This is my first. Oh, what Bad Boy? Yes, I'm gonna be up in here with everybody. What? I'm just excited. But as I'm looking back now and thinking about the occurrences of the night and how we were getting into it, and it was like, oh shit, yeah, we was going into it was different sections. You know what I'm saying? And different parties. And um so we get there, we give him the code, we get inside, and it's popping. Like you get inside and all the things you need is there. All the you have bowls of candy everywhere. And listen, I did I'm gonna talk about that another time too, but I did a show, a theater, I was a stage manager for this theater production, The Mystery of Edwin Drood, and we had a cast party, and it was the same thing. They had bowls of candy everywhere, bowls of weed, all types everywhere. So I've been to a few parties like this before. You know what I'm saying? But his was the first that I've ever been to like that. Um, we get in there, of course, again, there's people all over the place. Everybody's in, in mask. Everybody has a mask, different type of mask on or whatever. It's like a what do you call that, masquerade type? Well, it wasn't a masquerade. You're just hiding your fucking face so people don't know what the fuck what I'm saying is in here. You know what I'm saying? That's what the fuck that was, because it wasn't no theme like it was a Phantom of the Opera type of thing. It's just here. You put this shit on. You know what I'm saying? No face, no case. So you know, so you get in there. The music popping, everything, but you can tell like kind of who's like celebrity wise, you can tell like who is who. And then it was just exciting, like, oh shit, so in here, like, we just in there partying, because I had no clue, nobody had no clue. This is still early in the 90s, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just think you going to a banging ass celebrity party, and sure enough, we had a great time. But after a while, you in the party, you want to walk around, you want to mingle, you want to see what's going on, you want to go get drinks, and so you get the walking around, and you get the walking around and seeing shit you ain't supposed to see. And that was the first experience that I had with what they doing in there. Yeah, it was one of those like, oh shit, yeah, like Pandora's box, honey. It was a lot going on in the different sectors and areas. And then there was areas, of course, like going upstairs, there was no going, out off of where you were. You can walk around and see what's happening in the different areas on the floor that you're on, but there wasn't no venturing upstairs or going to this wing, or it wasn't none of that. But it was a lot
Mhm.
going on in that party where it came to a point where we both got uncomfortable, because it was like, okay, is this what it's going to end up being? You know what I'm saying? Because once
Yeah.
people started to go different areas, and you see, it was a good amount of people there, but at the same time, like, you notice, like, it's either people leaving, which you couldn't leave until there's enough people to fill the fucking van to go back. Yeah, yeah,
So you was hostage?
sort of, sort of. So
Yo,
and
that's
again, we young. I think I was like 19. I might have been like 19, 20. We young, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And yeah, we were young, so we still a little green. You know what I'm saying? Again, this is my first industry party. She's partied before, but more or less like cast parties, like the party that I was saying is theater shit, which is not that risque. You know what I'm saying? It's just drugs all over the damn place. Because that's what people in these industries do. They pop pills, they smoke a lot of weed, or they got their snow. All that stuff. But this was just a little bit more different. You know what I'm saying? And it looked like it was just an all for all type of party situation, and we got a little uncomfortable because we wasn't sure like what was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So we ready to leave, we trying to get out of there, and they telling us we can't because the van is not full, you gotta wait, and give us another hour. And we thinking like, oh my god, what is going to happen to us? You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
Because
a
it's a
lot
lot.
can happen in an hour.
A
Yo.
lot can happen in the hour, but thank God it wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? People were there for what they were there for. So if you were going into those rooms, that's what you wanted. You know what I'm saying? Like, they wasn't
Gotcha.
forcing nobody to do what you didn't want to do. You know what I mean? It wasn't like that. And I can't say that I didn't have a good time initially, because I did. It was
Okay.
a good party. That's a party that I would never forget, but I will never forget everything else as well. So like years later on, when the stories start coming out about him, it was like, yeah, I could believe some of that because I seen some things. You know what I'm saying? I seen some things, but at the same time, he always had really good parties. So yeah, that's my Diddy story. That's my Diddy party, honey. But I went to
Oh,
parties afterwards when Big released One More Chance, and they had a party out in Long Island at Jam Rock when Jam Rock was popping, and that was a regular party. It was popping. You know what I'm saying? Big was sitting in his crown, his big chair, his king chair, and we was in there jamming. Like, that was fun. You know what I'm saying? They again, Puff did have parties where it was, I
it
don't,
was
what happened afterwards was different. You know what I'm saying? But the parties itself was popping. Yeah, he really had good parties. So But yeah, that was one of the first industry parties that I went to, and I've seen some stuff that I was just like, oh my god, you know what I'm saying? Because again, I was still green, I was still young, I wasn't quite ready for that, you know what I'm saying? And it was just like, oh my god, what are they doing in here? Did you see that? Like we was one of those girls holding each other. Did you see that? Oh my god, they having sex. They having sex. Oh my god. Yep. So yeah, but
Ooh,
yeah, it was interesting. So yeah, yeah, yeah.
girl, I am still green because I've never had experiences at any of those things, and
Mm,
I've heard, like you hear a lot of stuff, like people talk about a lot of things, but it's like I guess for whatever reason I've been kept out of those rooms, and probably I would have the same. What are y'all doing in there?
yeah,
Ew,
yeah. I
from
was,
the
I was, I was that, I was that girl,
ew.
and they probably would have just, you know what I'm saying, they drug me in there just cause you want to be, you want to know, your nosy ass, get your ass out of here. Yeah, but I went to a sex party before. I went to a
Okay.
Pandora's box on 21st Street between Fifth and Sixth.
Oh, she
Yeah.
calling out addresses. Wait, wait, wait. Let's.
What? 20, this was years ago too. This was years ago too. 21st Street between Fifth and Sixth, and
Okay.
even that, like, I think about people who had been in orgies and threesomes, and I'd be like, how? Because it just looks so nasty to me in person. Like, it was just so nasty to me. It was like, it stinks in here.
You know. Oh, okay.
How can
So
people do
yeah.
this? You just with everybody. Ew.
So all right. Talking about sex parties, like I had a friend that encouraged me to go to one, and same thing where I was just like I was standing off to the side and I was observing, but I'm like, yo, don't touch me. Like,
Yeah.
don't, and the smells, the
Yeah.
bodily food that were being passed around. I'm like, this is not my life. Like, this is
Yeah.
not for me. You know.
Yeah.
So I
I
very
can I
quickly. Mm-mm.
yeah. Just every
No.
time I think about it too, I just be like, and what's crazy is because I'm a certified hairstylist, and I worked at a salon in the area. I remember first going over here and I was like, oh my God. And when I thought about it, it just it just made me shiver. Cause I was just like, ew,
Ew.
like I have the smell is an aphrodisiac. You know what, Edmund?
No.
Hello,
Shut up.
Edmund, and welcome to the chat. Hello, Edmund, and welcome to the chat.
No. Like, but no,
It
that's
was nasty to me. It was just like, oh, people who do this is like, oh no, like, you know what I'm saying? But I went. I was curious. I wanted to know. I wanted to see, and I did. I saw, and I was just like, yeah, nah, no
yeah.
thanks, no
I'm
thanks.
like, I know, like for me
I'm not that
personally, like
adventurous.
I could do like the whipping thing, right? So at the party I went to, they put like
Shanti said it smelled like Astroglide and cigarettes. You know what? I cannot. Y'all so nasty.
what's up, Edmund Dutton? Peace,
Yeah,
peace, peace.
shouts
Yo,
to Edmund.
that is a ugh.
Astroglide and cigarettes. I
I
cannot.
can smell that right now. Like, yo, that is kind of nasty. Yeah, no, they dude put a whip in my hand. He was like, yo, just have. There was like a chick strapped up to an X, and he was like, yo, just whip her. I was like, and they're like, no, harder, do it harder. And I was like, like, oh my, I'm sorry. I don't know. Am I hurting you? Like, is this hurting? And she was like, no, you're not doing it right. You got to do it harder. I was like, oh, this bitch is crazy. Okay, you take
Oh
this.
shit.
But
Now
but to
listen, one on one, let me be your dominatrix. Let me one on
right,
one, I got you.
right. that part, because like there was it's a room full of people and people are watching me do this, and it felt very uncomfortable in a room full of people, but one on one having that experience is like a completely different
Different.
thing. When you know the person, you trust them, they trust you, it's like it's so different. It is
Yeah.
so different.
Yeah. Edmund says, as someone who's been to a few of these parties in my youth, they are not
Mhm.
for the timid. Eh,
Mhm.
I guess I was timid at the time. I was younger. I was timid at the time, absolutely, but I was curious too. You know what I'm
Right, right,
saying?
right.
And maybe if it was under the right circumstances for me, I probably would have entertained the whole situation, but it smelled bad for me. It was just, it smelled bad. Everybody looked wet. I was just completely turned off and I was just like, ew, this is no, thanks.
It
Like, did
is
y'all did y'all
definitely.
test? Was y'all tested? I was just feeling all types of ways. Like,
Why
Luna, why
even
you
go?
didn't go if you weren't really
You know
about
what?
to
No,
play?
because my friend at the time, he was very like he was into that stuff, and he wanted to go with somebody and not by himself. So he asked me if I would go, and I
Yeah, he
already
wanted to
kind of
get you with somebody
knew.
else. That's what it was.
No, it was like I kind of knew I was not about that life because I had like kind of like a somebody I was seeing that was into the lifestyle. And he had asked me to go, and I was like, I knew how he was already, so I was like, nah, you go ahead, have fun. But it was,
They was
like,
listening like glazed donuts, Edmund. They was. It was just, I was like, everybody look wet. It's like, ew. Like, y'all just busting on each other and then y'all just, it was just, I don't know. It was just, it creeped me out. It really
I was
creeped me
like,
out.
yo,
Mm-mm.
that's what I was like one of those people. I was like, yo, have you talked to Jesus, please? Like, no, I'm joking. I'm definitely joking. Like I wasn't that person, but I kind of felt like it because I knew I was out of place. I knew that was not my thing. And for me to even like engage with somebody in a sexual manner, it's like I have to know and trust this person. So when it came to strangers trying to touch me, I'm like, yo, I will chop you in the throat. Don't touch me.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
touch
It
me.
was, yeah. It was just, and the guy I went with, he was just like, you not feeling this. I was like, no. He was like, all right, I'm gonna just give you some money, get in the gas so you can go home.
Like, I'm staying. Dude said, I'm staying and you can go.
He said, and I'm staying, and you take your ass home. Word.
Yo, I
I
cannot.
was like,
I
I
cannot.
was like, oh, I gotta clutch my pearls. Really?
Yo,
You
for
not leaving with
real. Touching
me?
my imaginary pearls. Like, oh,
I
oh.
said, oh shit, you not leaving with me? Yeah. So he
Yo,
definitely
and then,
stayed and gave me the rundown the following day. I was like, I don't want nothing to do with you. I'm glad I ain't fuck him. I'm glad I ain't never he ain't touch me. I ain't never touch him. Like I'm glad.
no, because it's like, I I developed this kind of like appreciation for intimacy kind of early on when it's like, when it's between somebody like and love, it's like it gets deep. Like I like deep shit. Like when it comes to surface things, or if it's just for the thrill of it, like that doesn't really interest me. Like I want to touch your soul. Like if we're not about to like rub on each other's souls, like what are we really doing? Thing.
Hello.
So
Yeah,
yes,
hello.
clutching the pearls, my imaginary pearl. Well, my name is Luna Pearl, so it fits.
I was absolutely clutching my pearls, honey. I was just like, well, where are you? You staying?
Whew,
All right. Mm-hmm. Damn sure put
that
my
was
ass in the cab. I took my
that was
ass
crazy.
home. And I got home and I laid in my bed like a fetus.
Repeat
Like a fetus. You jump in the shower, you slide down the shower crying and shit. Oh, I can't believe it's in my bed like a fetus. I couldn't believe that shit. Like, what was that? What did you think saying?
Listen, we are the chicks that if we were invited to like recent Diddy parties, they would have sent our asses home. All right, we would we would not be invited back. Like get these green
Nah, I
chicks
went
out
to a
of
Diddy party now. I
here.
would have fucking jokes.
Yo,
You know what I'm
no, that's facts right there. Like, yo, I would not know how to contain my
saying?
laughter
Yeah, I
because
would have jokes.
it is type funny now because the
Yeah,
way that people take these things so seriously
serious.
and you can see the demon in their eyes, they're like, yeah, yeah. Like,
Crazy. Listen, I can appreciate people who have experience that has lived their life in those ways and enjoyed that. I can appreciate that. Like, but that's just it's not necessarily for everybody. It's not for it wasn't for me. You know what I'm saying? It's still not for me to this day. I definitely, appreciate intimacy. You know, I like that one-on-one stuff. You know what I mean? Like
same, same.
I get down
It's
and
like,
dirty with my one. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, like I'm not for the streets. The streets is not for me.
no, we're not street checks. There were souls there that you could
You
have.
could have rubbed.
No, there were body parts I could have rubbed, but nobody had their soul on display. Like,
Edmund looked like
maybe
he's still part of that life. He's still about that life. You still about that
I
life,
would be
Edmund?
surprised.
You out
I
here in
would
these
not be
streets?
surprised, sir.
Edmund
What
is
you be
for the
doing?
streets. Edmund, you're for the streets. Let me find out. Listen, the streets ain't safe now, honey. Yeah, better be
Listen,
careful.
and especially
Needless to say,
after.
that guy that I went to was sick.
Oh,
That guy that I went
oh,
with was sick. Needless to say, yup, was sick.
oh,
So,
oh.
yeah.
Yo, and nothing. The friend that I went to the party with, he passed away recently, and
Mm,
I was shocked because we lost contact,
mm,
and I was like, what
mm.
the frick? There's so many people passing away, and it's scary out there.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, you know what? When it comes to that level of intimacy and swapping bodily fluids, like we forget the year of 2020, have we? Like there's some danger out in these streets.
There's things happening out in these streets, honey. So you gotta be very, very careful. For real.
Not ch- We're not supposed to be out there chasing waterfalls now. All
Mm-mm.
right. So make a
And people are
decision.
still
Guys.
and people are still chasing waterfalls.
Yo,
Still.
it's another epidemic there. Listen, I might be a weed head. That's as like crazy as it gets for me.
Well, I
That's
don't I
deep.
don't know who's everyone, but you know, I know where I went.
I've never been to a Diddy party, so I can't say
And
shit
the
about
thing
it.
is, if you don't
I like
necessarily know what's happening, then you don't know to stay to the after party. And I believe those after parties were exclusive anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
all right, can we stop talking about donut glaze? I will never be able to look at a donut again. Like, it would have to be dry as fuck. Like, wait, that's too shiny. I don't want it. I don't want
Yeah, it
it.
was. It was. It wasn't. I listen. I remember that. And I was just like, ew.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Everybody look
I mean,
nasty.
shout out to everybody that went to those parties and survived. Shout out to you, Tony, because it's crazy. It's crazy times. Like even back in the '90s, like I think that things could have got a lot more crazy because we didn't really have cell phones back then.
Hmm.
You had to like beep somebody 911, like come get me.
That's why a lot of people can get away with a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying now because there's really no way to confirm if that you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was interesting. It was an interesting time.
Oh yeah, you missed story time.
You missed
You
story
missed.
time. You could definitely
Yeah.
go back when we posted.
Yeah, you could rewatch it live.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, the '90s was a time, and Diddy parties, they weren't, at that time back in the '90s, they weren't parties that um you couldn't be at. Like those were known when, you know what I'm saying, when they was going down. Yeah, everybody knew about that. Especially if you from
You're
New York City, you lived in Brooklyn. Like he's a survivor. He was at a Diddy party. You
oh, I
survived the
might have
Diddy
to.
party.
We're gonna have to get your survivor story.
I'm a survivor.
Listen, there's a lot of levels of survivors out there right now. Like it's real in these streets. I
Yeah.
don't even know to the levels, but it is what it is. Like that's why we having these, wholesome conversations. I don't know how we strayed and got to Diddy parties, but it's good for story time. Like I like story time. Matter of fact, I encourage that. Let me stop. I definitely encourage that story.
Yeah, Shanti the one that brought it up. Shanti had brought it up.
Oh
But
shoot!
yeah,
And I was
definitely. I mean, Diddy has some good parties though. Like we can't,
I
I'm
can,
just
yeah, like I like nobody can say that everything was bad. And
bad.
plus, like consenting adults, if you're an adult and you know what you're doing, you go to those parties, you know what it is. You
Yeah,
know what it is.
yeah,
But it's
yeah.
when the conversation goes to kids, that's the part where I'm like, oh no, 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 no. There's gotta be a pat like, a cutoff somewhere, a boundary on that, because
Well, I guess we gonna find out. I'm hoping this whole trial thing goes to court TV because I want to see it. I want to see. I want to
they're
see
gonna make
what's
it
happening. I want to
spectacle.
see if these testimonies are, for real. If he really was, touching on kids and stuff. Like, I hate to hear it. I hate to
The
hear
thing
it, but I definitely want to see the trial.
the thing is, like, I feel like he's like a scapegoat right
Seems
now
that,
because
yeah, it seems that way.
we still haven't even gotten, like, from Epstein's list, like the elites that was on there, like they're
Hmm.
still in the dark.
Hmm.
It's a lot not being said,
But
and people like
that was quieted down though. They quiet.
nobody's
They
talking
they.
about that
You know
anymore.
why they quieted down? Because remember when that all started happening, Obama was running for president, and remember they said the
Mm,
Obamas was on the list. Of course, the Trumps, the Clintons, all of them were going to those islands. They silenced that. They done killed
yeah,
that man. You know what I'm saying? They killed that man and said he committed suicide in jail. That was Epstein, right?
yeah.
Yeah, they killed that man.
But they still have his right hand person, that I forgot the
The
woman's
woman,
name, Maxine.
yeah, yeah,
And where's she at? Like
quiet.
nothing. Nothing has been said. Like that whole story has been silenced, and that's the key piece that is missing. The key truth to blowing up this whole thing is to start there, because Diddy is he's small potatoes compared to the rest of them.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
really I really believe it's way bigger than him.
absolutely. I think though, regardless, I think they had leverage with the Cassie case
Hmm.
to take him in, and if anything, they probably using that to keep his ass. But I definitely believe that he probably was going to go down regardless, even if it was for that. And of course, there's bigger fish that they are looking to get, but these people is in every like the money speaks. His money didn't. You know what I'm saying? His money didn't, but whoever's over him, like they got that whole thing locked. And I
Oh,
watched this
Clive.
movie, Blink Twice, with Channing Tatum, which I feel like this may have been a play off of this whole situation. It's Channing Tatum. He is a big tech guy, billionaire, has his own private island, takes people to his island, drugs them up, gives them this. perfume is this perfume where they put on, you put on every day these flowers. I forgot what they're called, that erases your memory. And every day you
Mm.
wake up happy. They done did whatever they did to you throughout the night, but you wake up the next morning happy. You know what I'm saying? Your memory is gone from the night before. You don't know what's going on because you got these flowers that's next to you that's erasing your memory. You got this perfume that's erasing your memory. Yeah, it's wow. And I was like, oh shit. It's called Blink Twice. When you get a chance, it's on Amazon Prime.
Okay,
When you get
yeah,
a
I gotta
chance,
look
watch
at
that movie. It's wild. And I was like, wow.
it.
They
That's
just
what
on
they
this
keep
island
saying.
and they just happy every day. Drinks, weed, you just having all types of fun. And yeah, it's wow. It's a wild movie. And I was just like, wow, like this is crazy how they, you know what I'm saying? Like this is possible.
Yeah, I definitely gotta check that out too.
Emin is
But
saying he
that's the
agrees. It's like
thing.
they're
They
trying to
will,
convince him in the court of public opinion first. Yeah, of course. They generally only do that
they
if
will
their case is
have
going. My bad, Luna.
they will have these things in our face. Like the truth will be in our face. They'll make movies about it. They'll make shows about it, and
Is it we
but
just
yeah,
take it as
nothing is being done in
entertainment?
real life. Yeah, it's it no, but it's real life. Like these movies mimic reality. They're making these stories based off of what's actually happening,
And if
and
we don't
I
see that by now with these fucking robots that's coming
oh,
to fruition, if,
hello. I'm
if
like,
we don't
yo,
see
I
that
keep
by
waiting.
now,
I keep waiting for Will Smith to be like, come on. Like, yo.
listen, when these robots start acting unruly, he better bring his ass out here and fight these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? God damn it. Shit. You got the source, right, Will?
Facts. Listen, I don't really have any wild date stories. Like I put a stop to wild shit very early. All right. As soon as I see that somebody has like a crazy streak or a wild tendency that, is not my vibe, gone. Like
Yeah, same. Same.
it's not a joke over here. Like I don't play with my time like that. Like it's senseless to me if somebody's showing me those flags and I'm like, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
let's run with it. No.
yeah, yeah.
Bye.
The only flag I wave is on the parkway. You know what I'm saying?
Bye.
That's it.
Let me done
Yeah, that's it. You know what I'm saying? That's the only flag I'm waving. God damn it. But Edmund said he think that around 75% of the people popping up trying to sue Diddy are capping. Oh yeah, I agree with that. And you
I
heard
mean,
Blink
it's
twice
similar
agree.
to what is it, Bill Cosby thing? Like I don't believe all of the stories that came out against him were true,
Yeah.
but I do believe he did some of that.
I mean, he had already pre-admitted to that
Yeah,
in his comedy. So, he already said what he was doing to people. The quaaludes, the jokes was there for a very long time. So he had already admitted to that. They just needed to put faces to the jokes,
yeah.
unfortunately for him. So, this is why people got to be very careful about what they talk about in their raps, in their comedy, and in their be careful of making jokes about shit that's going to come back and bite you in the ass. But yeah, Edmund, you definitely got to check out Blink Twice. It was a really good film, and it was deep. It was
I'm
deep.
going to watch that probably this weekend. Got to put that on the watch list.
He
Um,
said New York is a red flag, B.
Whatever. Listen, he's such a New York hater, but yet talking about, oh, I gotta come up there and get me a chopped cheese, get me some New York pizza, take me around, but
Chopped cheese
such
is
a
a
New York
Harlem thing.
hater.
That's not even a Brooklyn thing. I started hearing about chopped cheese. Like, what is that? Ground beef? I
Right.
eat ground beef with
I
cheese.
was confused about it.
A
I don't
sloppy
know.
Joe. What you talking about? A chopped cheese? So sloppy Joe. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember sloppy Joes? Same shit.
Listen, all we need to know, because he has this thing like New York. is very boisterous about being New Yorkers. Like we always have something to say about, oh, I'm from New York, I'm from Brooklyn, I'm from whatever, whatever in New York City. Well, again, there's a reason for that. Because what city has the most songs made about it?
In New York,
There you
concrete
go.
jungle where dreams are made of. And in the Manano. I don't even know the words.
Eh.
Let's hear it from the. First of all, New York is New York City, and that's it. That's all you need to know.
That's it. That's it. You know,
It's where everybody
we
get
didn't
their
make it.
style from. Everybody want to talk like New Yorkers. Everybody want to act like they from Brooklyn. No matter what part of the world you go to, everybody talking about, I'm from Brooklyn. No, you not. The only New
Like,
York you need to know is Brooklyn. Nah, New York City, like, I mean, it's changed. It's changed a lot, but New York City is annoyingly boisterous. He said.
well, then why do you, sir? Why do you want to come here? Why do you want to visit?
He said
Because
he here
we're
for
so.
it regardless. That's why, because he here for it regardless. Now,
Nah, but
New York is definitely a unique place. It has become the melting pot for all nationalities and cultures and races, and you can find a little bit of everybody in New York, and there's a section for everybody in New York. The Jamaicans got their place, the Trinis, the Haitians, the Dominicans, the Puerto Ricans, the Russians, the Asians. Like everybody has their place in New York City. So that's what makes New York City, a beautiful place. You know what I'm saying? And it gives us a lot of bragging rights because at one point in time, New York City was the place where everybody come get their fashion, everybody come get their looks from. It was just that place, and nobody talk like New Yorkers. Nobody move like us. They don't act like us. They don't do what we do. Now I gotta start getting hood on you. You know what I mean? B. You feel me, son? Now I
what
gotta
up?
son you. Nobody got the lingo we got. Feel me? Nobody talk like us.
Yo, it's definitely it's a vibe.
Yeah,
Like Tony said, there's something for everybody here, for every level, every kind of person. There is something in New York. Not every place can say that. So I think that's why we have the title that we have, the reputation, the stereotypes.
mm-hmm.
Sanitary. Yo, you are such a
He said it's sanatorium. That is
hater.
hilarious.
You are such a yes, and mental hospitals, because it's not for the weak. New
Yeah,
York is not for the weak. A lot of people try to come here and they try to make something of themselves and they try to, live the lifestyle and it's not for them. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? So we can't take responsibility for everybody that come through and it drive them crazy. You can't blame the city for that. That's the
Nah, shouts to
person.
you though, Edmund. We appreciate your
Shout
keen.
out to my dog.
Some of us was born in one word, Shanti, right?
Yo, that's fact. Yo, not enough conversations on that because we like slightly touched on that in the beginning of the last live, like how your parents are your first point of contact for relationships and any kind of like connection in this world, and if your parents are traumatized or if they have some mental disorders that can quickly rub off on their offspring. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
New York is a state composed of every movie about some You know
Such a
what? You're
hater.
right.
I mean,
Word.
you're not completely wrong, but let's also remember that them heroes be coming out of New York. Like whoever saves the
Hello.
day,
Hello.
hey, New
Hello.
York hero.
Hello. Will Smith came to New York to fight off those robots. Feel me? He could
Right?
only do it here.
Fight- He was
He
fighting
could
off
only
those
do it here.
zombies in New York. You know what I'm saying? Sam, what was that movie? I Am Legend. Like
I am
his
legend.
dog, like died for the cause in New York.
in New York. Okay, let's get it right now. Let's get it right. New
Listen,
York City is the
there's
place to be.
something, yo, it is definitely one of the hot spots of the world to be, and it's to say that nowhere's perfect. Like, even New York, we got our we got our sanatoriums and people that should be in them walking around on the streets, but
Yeah,
I say it's more good than bad out here. So,
yeah,
that's always, and a win is a win.
that's a
It's a
fact.
win.
That's a fact. Yeah, man. Listen, it was definitely a pleasure hanging with y'all tonight. Thank y'all.
Uh,
Thank you, Edmund, for coming in and giving us a conversation. Hopefully, you subscribe to me, you subscribe to Luna Pearl, you subscribe to Girl Podcast, and we definitely appreciate your conversation. Shout to you, Shanti. You already
absolutely.
know. And shout
Girl,
to everybody
uh,
who's watching.
official. Wait, I'm putting in the chat. Official. My fingers can't type fast enough.
This was fun. Luna, we was on tonight.
Yo,
So if
we
y'all go
was
back to the first live, it's
definitely.
gonna look really weird because it looks like I'm sitting there talking to myself, and I might have to pull that down because I don't know
But
what's
that's
gonna
that's why
happen.
we got this one,
Yeah,
so we can make up for that because yeah, that
that was weird. I pulled it up like, let me see, and I'm like, wait a minute, like, why I look like I'm talking to myself?
Yo, wait, why is my chat showing up? Can y'all see?
No,
I don't even see it on this side.
no, I don't see it.
YouTube, damn you. I don't know. It's been acting real weird tonight, so I'm just gonna ride. Subscribe to at Girl Podcast Official. Subscribe to at Tony Stills. Subscribe to at Luna Pearl Media, because we in here. We're trying to grow. We're trying to do some things. We're trying to have some real conversations and bring y'all into it. Along for the ride, and let's grow together. Yay.
I'm putting it in the chat.
Yo, because like I've been typing stuff in the chat not knowing that it's not showing up here. Like YouTube is trying to play me tonight and I don't
Yeah,
appreciate
this
it.
is wild.
Shanti, like yo, the way that I've been like feeling like a YouTube stepchild tonight.
So Edmund,
It's
you
all good.
definitely got to come to New York. Shanti, that's in the chat. He does. He covers a game show that happens monthly called This and That Game Show, which is really fun, give you good vibes and all that good stuff. You know what
Definitely
I'm
gotta check that
saying? Yeah, we gotta check that out. Have a good time. Shanti
out.
said maybe they might want to come on, the pod.
Yes, please. Let's bring the conversation into. I mean, we was already talking about bringing fellas into conversation. So if you are game, then feel free to hit us up, let us know.
Well, we
But thank
definitely
you.
going
Like
to have.
Sade is one of my favorite parties. I appreciate that.
Say that again.
Oh, Shante said, I got the Sade vibe going on, and that's like
Mm-hmm.
one of my favorite parties. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm. It's just a ordinary love. Yes.
listen, we gonna do
Nothing but
karaoke.
peace over here. Nothing but peace.
Listen, I'm gonna have to put that down on my karaoke list because yeah,
And you know, I still got that video of you from karaoke.
you still got it. Send it to
I
me.
absolutely do. I'm gonna put it in the folder.
Okay, okay, okay.
I
Cool, cool, cool.
absolutely do. Matter of fact, and I had looked at it the other day because I was like, "Oh, I could use this for one of the girl reels." But I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you do something with it.
Listen, I trust you. Go ahead and like play around with it because really, I forgot all about that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got that. I got that video. I was like, "Oh shoot, yeah, I could use this for girl. Yeah, it'd be cool."
Listen, when you decide you want to make your way to New York, I got you, but you gotta let You know, matter of fact, you can come hang out with at Girl Podcast official crew.
That's
Okay,
a
be part of
fact.
the team. Have a
Cause
little conversation.
we had some good pizza the other day. Okay. Shanti said I do karaoke.
We
Oh, I sure do.
should do karaoke in the car, yo, and record that shit. That would be so fun.
I sure do. I'll be in there singing. Just Shanti just be looking at me like, oh God. We be driving wherever we going.
Listen,
Put that
car,
music. That's all you
car
need in the car.
karaoke.
Put some music on and just vibe out.
I can see that. I can totally see it through that. But yes. Yo, thank y'all so much for hanging with us, joining in on the conversation. This is like, what we're about. Just, having some really good vibes, good conversation with good people. So let's keep that
Yeah.
going.
We here,
Yeah.
y'all, every Wednesday, 8 p.m., 8:30. So tap in with us every Wednesday. We going live right here, and until we get to those 50 subscribers at the Girl Podcast Official, we'll be here at the Tony Stills or Luna Pearl Media. And yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Shouts to y'all. Tell your people, share the videos if you love it. And thank y'all for real. It's been fun. Yeah, y'all made the conversation even more fun.
Yes, for real.
Because this is the
Definitely.
longest we've been on live.
Facts.
Yeah, this is the longest we've been on live. We did two tonight.
So, I mean, I'm kind of curious. I want to look back at that. So don't delete it yet. I want
Okay,
to
I
look
won't.
back.
I won't. I won't. I'm gonna look at it too because I was just like, what? I'm mortified. Am I talking to myself? Like what's wrong with this girl?
Oh shoot. But thanks again, guys. And I hope everybody has a good night, has a great rest of the week, and look out for the bonus episode on Friday at Girl Podcast Official. And we'll be releasing a full episode in the next couple of weeks. We'll release the date on that.
Listen, a good time is not a threat, Edmund.
No,
A
it's
good time
never,
is not a threat. It's
it's
a good
never,
time.
right. Depending on what you consider a
A
good
good
time,
time.
Mr. Glazed Donut.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't no Pandora boxes happening. Ain't no Pandora boxes happening over here.
Oh shoot. All right, y'all. Yo, it's been real. It's been fun, and we gonna do this again next week. So,
Yes. Girl.
yes,
Later,
girl.
Luna.
Later.
Mwah. Have a good
Peace
night,
out.
y'all.
Good night. Good night.